Mommy Nancy emotional breakdown after Maurice Sam's unexpected reaction. My people, gather here because what I'm about to share with you no be ordinary gist at all. If you think you've seen drama in Nollywood, wait till you hear how Mommy Nancy herself, the queen of calmness and wisdom, broke down emotionally because of something Maurice Sam did. This gist shocked everybody, cast, crew, fans, even people wey just waka pass. From the beginning of that day, the energy on set was normal. Laughs here, makeup there, actors greeting each other, director shouting small, everybody minding their business. Nobody see any sign say something emotional fit happen. In fact, Mommy Nancy even cracked joke earlier that morning, so people thought the day would be smooth. But life always get hidden agenda. Unknown to everyone, Mommy Nancy had been going through some heavy emotions behind the scenes. She had been dealing with pressure, stress, and some personal issues she kept private. For someone as strong as her, hiding tears is normal. But that day, everything spilled. The scene they were filming involved her and Maurice Sam, and you know Maurice, with his charm, talent, and charismatic energy. He always brings life to any set. He respects his senior colleagues deeply. He always greets politely. He always shows love. But something happened. Something small. Something unexpected. Something that hit Mommy Nancy deeply even though Maurice himself didn't mean any harm. Before the scene, the director called everyone together to rehearse. Maurice and Mommy Nancy read their lines, but Maurice, who had been correcting a technical issue with his mic, mistakenly sounded irritated when he replied to her. He said, "Hold on, Ma, wait first," in a tone sharper than normal. The moment he said it, everybody froze small because they weren't used to Maurice speaking like that to an elder. But people brushed it off as stress or distraction. They didn't think much of it. Only one person reacted differently, Mommy Nancy. Her face changed slightly. You know that kind of tiny expression shift only mothers have. That mixture of hurt, shock, confusion, and silent pain. She didn't say anything. She continued the rehearsal. But her eyes were no longer the same. Something inside her had cracked. The scene started. Lights on. Camera rolling. Director shouted, "Action." Mommy Nancy started her lines beautifully as always. But halfway through, her voice began to shake. Everyone thought she was adding extra emotion to the role. They admired her acting. But then she suddenly stopped talking. Her lips trembled. Her eyes glistened. Before anyone could understand what was happening, tears started rolling down her cheeks. Real tears. Heavy tears. Tears from somewhere deep inside. Tears that didn't belong to the script. The director paused immediately. Maurice dropped his script. Crew members exchanged worried glances. Nobody knew what triggered it. Mommy Nancy tried to wipe her face and continue, but more tears came down uncontrollably. She whispered, I'm trying, but her voice cracked like broken glass. The entire set went silent. You could hear a pin drop. Maurice stepped closer and asked gently, Ma, are you okay? But instead of calming her, the question made her cry even harder. She raised her hand to cover her face, turned away from everyone, and walked toward the corner of the set. Makeup artist quickly followed her. Costume assistant rushed. Even the director followed slowly. The entire place was full of confusion. At that moment, Maurice's face changed completely. His playful smile disappeared. He looked like someone whose heart just sank. You know that feeling when you realize you might have said something that hurt someone deeply. That's exactly how he looked. People gathered around trying to comfort Mommy Nancy. But she kept shaking her head, saying, I don't like being spoken to like that, not by someone I care about. That statement shocked everyone. Someone I care about. Meaning what? Meaning Maurice was not just a colleague to her. She saw him like a son. A real son. Someone she admired. Someone she respected. Those words pierced Maurice like arrow. He took a step back. It was written all over him, guilt, regret, panic. He never expected such emotional reaction. He never imagined his tone could break her. People realized at that moment that her emotional breakdown wasn't really about the sharp tone. It was about everything she'd been bottling inside finally spilling over. Maurice immediately approached her again, but carefully this time. He knelt beside her like someone begging a mother for forgiveness. Crew members shift one side because they know this wasn't acting anymore. This was real. He said softly, "Ma, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I had no intention to disrespect you. I'm sorry for hurting you. Please forgive me." The sincerity in his voice made some crew members emotional. A few even wiped tears secretly. The connection between them was deeper than people knew. Mommy Nancy kept crying, but she started calming down slowly. Her tears slowed, her breathing softened. She finally looked at Maurice. Her eyes were red but soft. She said, "I know you didn't mean it. But I'm tired. I'm carrying so much. And when someone I care about snaps at me, it cuts deeper." Those words hit everyone in the chest. It revealed the truth. She wasn't crying because of the tone. She was crying because life had been beating her emotionally for weeks, maybe months. Maurice held her hand gently and said, "You're not alone, Ma. If you need anything, we're here." In that moment, you could feel love on that set. Real love. Family love. Nollywood family bond. The director asked for a break. Production stopped for over an hour. People gave Mommy Nancy water. Someone brought food. Someone else brought tissue. Everyone rallied around her like she was their mother. Social media later picked up the gist after someone hinted about a tearful incident on set, and fans went into full emotional mode. They began praising her strength, her vulnerability, and Maurice's humility. Some fans blamed stress. Some blamed pressure. Some blamed hidden issues in the industry. Others praised Maurice for apologizing immediately and respectfully. Mommy Nancy later came back on set after calming down. She hugged Maurice tightly in front of everyone. That hug alone nearly made people cry again. It felt like watching a mother forgive her son wholeheartedly. After the hug, she smiled faintly and said, "Let's continue. I'm okay now." But people could still see the emotional weight in her eyes. Even though she smiled, the experience had touched her deeply. Maurice stayed close to her throughout the day. He carried her bag at one point. He made sure she didn't walk alone. He checked on her repeatedly. That boy really took responsibility. The entire atmosphere on set changed. People became more gentle, more respectful, more considerate. Like they all realized that sometimes the strongest people break too. Later that evening, Mommy Nancy thanked the crew for their support. She didn't reveal the exact personal issues she was going through, but she said life had been overwhelming. She said stress had piled up. She said her heart was tired. Maurice apologized again privately. He told her he loved her like a mother. He told her he never wanted her to feel hurt because of him. And she blessed him with prayers that made even grown men emotional. When fans eventually heard the detailed version, they praised Mommy Nancy for her humility and humanity. They praised Maurice for being a respectful, caring young man. They celebrated their bond. Some fans even said the incident showed that Nollywood is not just a workplace, it's a family with real emotions, real struggles, real connections. The movie they were filming eventually turned out beautifully because the emotions they poured into the scene after the breakdown were raw and real. Some people who watched behind the scenes said you could literally feel the pain through the screen. But the biggest lesson from the entire incident: even strong people break down. Even respected legends have fragile moments. And sometimes, the people who hurt you the most are the people you care about deeply, not because they mean to hurt you, but because their voice goes straight to your heart. Till today, Maurice remains extra gentle with her. Crew members say he never raises his voice around her again. Even when he jokes, he double-checks his tone. That incident humbled him in a caring way. And Mommy Nancy? She's stronger now. She healed. She grew. She became even more loved by fans because they saw her humanity. But no matter how much time passes, Those who were on that set will never forget the day the Queen of Strength finally broke down, and the unexpected person who triggered it became the same person who lifted her back up with love, apology, and empathy. My people, if this story touched your heart, I beg hit that like button, drop your thoughts, and subscribe because Nollywood gist never finish. This one not just chapter 1.